Blockchain is like sex in high school. Everyone talks about it quietly. Very few people understand it, and only the professor deals with it. Articles about decentralized peer-to-peer systems fall into two types. There are either boring formulas and complicated explanations, which I never managed to read even half of, or articles and videos on YouTube. How to mine 100 trillion billion bitcoins in a nanosecond, buying up all the NVIDIA video cards in the world. This video is for those who want to finally understand blockchain in simple language, without cryptography protocols, not much in the way of hash functions, but with real-life examples. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and here we go. So, blockchain in simple words is the kind of database. Without a storage device on a shared server, the data in such a system is stored evenly on all computers that are connected to the database. Let us imagine if each block of such a system is a certain set of the information about certain events. Each such block has its own label and digital signature. This label and signature does not allow to change the data of the block, and all subsequent data that comes into the database creates, on the basis of previous blocks, its own unique digital label and signature. In other words, if you try to change data that is stored in a block located earlier, the system will not allow you to do so. In addition, any such attempts must be accompanied by serious computing power. None of the devices in such a database have sufficient resources to modify code from previous blocks of the whole system. Okay, but how is blockchain related to Bitcoin? Here it is very simple. The blockchain technology and Bitcoin are invented by same person, Satoshi Nakamoto. But okay, a person is an overstatement. After all, the fact of the existence of such a character on the planet Earth is not proven. It is believed that it was Satoshi Nakamoto who invented the Bitcoin code and then introduced the database security technology. But what is this man's real name? And what he looks like still no one knows exactly. You can find more details about cryptocurrencies in our previous video. So, to understand the essence of blockchain and how it works, we need to go even deeper into how money works. Physical money, through which people exchange goods with each other, it's quite difficult to counterfeit. Electronic money, on the other hand, requires only a few digits to pay for a particular service. Precisely because physical money is difficult to copy, it is possible to determine how much capital a person has by simply counting the total amount of accumulated money. The availability of money allows people to transact with each other directly, and before the advent of electronic money, there wasn't much need to account for the massive money that was physically in a particular person's possession. But one misunderstanding arose with the emergence of the electronic bank accounts, a strange situation. In order to prove that a person has a certain amount of money for the first time in many centuries, it is enough to show a few digits on a screen of a handy electronic device. And the creators of Bitcoin decided that if you create a table with data about how much and who owns the cryptocurrency, then a paper money itself will not be needed anymore, and in part, such a task has already been accomplished by banks. The banking system has begun to sublimate the issuance of money in the form of digital records in its closed system. For example, if you make a transfer between cards of the same bank, the money does not physically move between accounts, only the internal balance of the banking system changes. But with the creation of such a register table, one problem has arisen. Who will guarantee that someone in the system will not change their data at will? Just the formation of Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency gave an answer to this question. Any changes to the sequence of blocks can only be made at the very end of such a chain. It is similar to a railroad train. To change the content of such a train, we do not change the cars, but add new ones to the tail. In addition, with each such action, it becomes harder and harder to create and join a new block. because the initial data of each new task is generated from the previous operation. This perception of blockchain as an internet composition that has a beginning but no end will be the most correct one if you want to understand what blockchain is in simple terms. This principle was originally used for monetary transactions within crypto systems, but the idea itself looked tempting for applications in other areas of human activity. The use of this technology in medicine is more than justified. After all, data processing and storage is one of the most important factors of this activity. The accuracy and speed of processing information about a patient's medical history is one of the most important elements on which the healing process depends. What does blockchain bring to the field? The technology makes it possible to record all the data in the patient's chart and receive this information from anywhere in the world. For example, if it is a sudden illness that occurred during a business trip or vacation, storing information about a patient's health in electronic form is not a new thing, but only now there is an opportunity to do it centrally. The doctor receives the data and makes changes to the general medical record, even when he's in another country. And there is no fear that he will enter some contradictory information or change the information that was recorded before. Technology has given the world a new format of relations and legal aspects as well. For example, the Ethereum platform makes it possible to create a legal basis for doing business on its own. But we will mention this platform below in more detail. Blockchain makes it easy to run a document management system inside a company, to register the necessary licenses, to prepare documents for the business to enter the international market using approved quality standards. And of course, this legal framework allows from the launch of cryptocurrency within the business to simplify mutual settlements. What development will take place in the future and how it will affect the lives of ordinary people, it is difficult to say, but we will be watching together. So this video is an attempt to explain what blockchain is in simple words, and I hope it is successful. Write your opinion about blockchain in the comments. See you in the next videos.